He needs to sell his Clarence home that hasn't been updated since the 90s in the middle of his divorce. But what is it actually worth?
Ask Michelle, she's got the know-how, turning your someday into right now. Buying or selling, she's here to help to find your dream home. Ask Michelle.
Welcome back to Ask Michelle. I'm Michelle Petrie, your Buffalo Realtor. Today we are going to hear from Tony.
Hey Michelle, it's Tony. I'm going through a divorce and need to sell our 3-bedroom split level in Clarence. It's not updated though, since probably the 90s. We paid $245,000 9 years ago. How do we price it? And do we both need to be at showings?
Hey Tony, I'm so sorry to hear about your situation that you guys are going through right now. First question I'm going to have for you actually is, are you willing to put in a little bit of money, maybe to update small things or to do a fresh coat of paint, things of that nature? I haven't seen the house yet, so 90s can be very easily remediated to just make it look a little bit fresher. New doorknobs on the kitchen cabinets, a fresh coat of paint that just gives a modern color, the neutral colors. Maybe we need to replace carpets in the bedrooms. These things are really minimal if you have the budget for them and would really upgrade appropriately. With this pricing, we want to know exactly when you guys need to sell. So I don't know, and you didn't mention in your voicemail if you need to buy another home also, or if you guys are going to rent for a little bit, or what that scenario looks like. If you don't need to buy, I mean, this is a great time. You have a little bit more flexibility, it would seem, to sell your home. I would start getting things ready now, regardless if you have a budget to do updates. But what we're gonna need to do is look at what has been sold recently on the market. I do expect the spring to be heavier and more aggressive to benefit sellers than it was in the fall. The better comps are going to be the most recent ones, the homes that have sold most recently, not necessarily in last fall. So pricing is going to depend on what we see around us. I still think we're going to see around a $299 mark, and it depends on the type of price strategy that we come out with. There's 3 pricing strategies I always educate you with. 2 of them I will recommend depending on the market. But are we listing next week or are we listing in a month, month and a half? That'll give us a different time, and more comps will come on the market at that time. Fortunately for you guys, you do not have to be at any of the showings. We take care of all of that. We make sure the home is secure. We have licensed real estate agents that make appointments with their clients in order to come see the home. And fortunate for you, you do not have to be there at all. So it makes it super simple. The only tough thing is if you do have pets, kids, is making sure it's cleaned up every time we have a showing. We can make it a little bit more flexible so that, there's chunks of time available, and then there's chunks of time where it's not, so it's conducive for you and your family. Open houses are really beneficial as well, because I do find that it gives people just that much more opportunity to see the home, especially those that don't have a real estate agent yet, because some people don't know they're ready until they see that home that makes them ready. We want to give everyone the chance to see the home, and maybe yours is the one that gets them to go get their pre-approval, to go get everything in order that they need so that they can put an offer on your house. So if you are also thinking of buying a home as well, and you do need to sell your home in Clarence first in order to get that proceeds or the debt to ratio figured out, there's a few different routes that we can take. One, we can do a reverse contingency, which we put your home on the market first and tell buyers that we need time to find suitable housing. That has its pluses and minuses, which I'll get into with you when we talk, but that tends to be more beneficial for the seller and puts more stress on the buyer and doesn't always work out. 2, we can go in and hope that we can get under contract for a home before you put your home on the market, contingent on the sale. That makes it tough if it's in a multiple offer scenario. It depends on where you're looking to buy and how competitive that market is compared to your budget, etc. There is also a few programs with lenders out here where they can actually make it so you're non-contingent even though you are. They finagle the finances for a short period. You just have to sell your home within 120 days of closing on your new home. So that is a huge advantage that a lot of my buyers that have been contingent on the sale have taken advantage of. So I'd really recommend looking at those few lenders that have programs like that. Again, I'm sorry about the scenario you guys are in. I know it's very hard on a family and a couple. The good thing is that when we go to fill out paperwork, I don't have to be in person with you guys together. We can do it separately, or we can do it over the phone. We can do it over Zoom. We have a lot of options, but actually signing can go right online. So I don't actually need to physically be with you guys to sign the paperwork. Obviously I would need to meet both of you, and that can be at separate times as well, but nothing that makes anyone feel uncomfortable. I'll do what I have to do to make everyone confident in this process. Sorry again, Tony. Thanks so much for your question though. If you have your own question, comment below so I can answer it on the next show. I'm Michelle Petrie, your Buffalo Realtor, keeping tabs on all things Buffalo so you don't have to.